Hi everyone. Welcome. Good to see you all again already in the chat. It feels like a million years ago, but it's only been 2 weeks. So last week I hosted a drawing session, a new drawing session at my local cool place. Like, we have one cool place and it's where it's at. I hope the sound is good because I'm sitting in a different location in my studio and I changed some stuff, and changing stuff and technology is notoriously dangerous. So let me know if anything is up. Thank you, Kelly. Good. So I subconsciously cropped it out of the frame, but it is an absolute disaster mess right over there. I have been framing my work. I've been doing most of the work for my exhibition this Saturday myself, and it's a lot of work. It's also a lot of mess. So everything's exploded here, and that's fine. We're just gonna ignore it. So let me switch. And then I don't know why my main camera is looking a little bit like we're on a boat going down. So let me grab the reference photo. There we go. So who's here? Dylan. Hi, Dylan. Ariana, Kelly, Libby. Linda is here. Hi. Cool. I also noticed, by the way, that Kara is also streaming right now on Zoom, by the way, or Zoom and Facebook if she got that to work. So we're kind of live at the same time. So tomorrow is my live stream day for her creative jumpstart, I think it's called, where you can do a bunch of lessons for free. And oh, you were there yesterday, Dylan, but I was just so tired. That I couldn't make it. Alright, so yeah, last time was 2 weeks ago, and I did a lot of talking, and then I tried to do some painting, and that did not go well. So here is kind of like a rematch. I am tripping under this. Like, every light that you see here is artificial, and my brain is like, what is this? I don't know what this is. What color is this? I don't know. That is very kind of you, Kelly. Yes, you can catch her replay. Alright, so I have, by the way, most of this is, what is it? Winsor Newton Artisan. which is the blue, which is an ultramarine, and a red, which is a fake cadmium, and a raw umber, all of those from Arzen. And then the yellow is from Lucas Berlin, and the white is also from Lucas Berlin. And I'm gonna try and not do, or like not want to do so awfully much in 1 hour. Let's see. And also like default to the safe space of Caucasian skin tones, right? We love Kara, yes, we love Kara. She makes me happy. It is nice that we feel so much connection, and I am looking forward to seeing you on Friday, finally, Ariana. What is my opinion on water-based oils? All right, well, am I gonna be able to? I'm always struggling a little bit with where do I want my palette? Do I want it on the left side or on the right side? Let me first check. Oh, this dude's face. And that may actually be a little bit too light. So let's add a little bit. My opinion on water-soluble oils. I think they're a good product. I think they're a good product for people who want to do painting and then go into their bathroom and wash their stuff with soap and water. And like I said last time, at least I hope I said that last time because it is important. That is the only thing you should be using water for with water-soluble oils, right? Water is not a medium for water-soluble oils. And in fact, what I noticed after 2 weeks ago when I was done making my mess is I had water in my brush, right? Because what I would do is I would rinse my brush in water. And I know I was being a little stubborn 2 weeks ago, but I was also trying to make a bit of a point. I was rinsing my brush in water. And when I use regular oils, I rinse my brush in linseed oil, right? The thing with rinsing your brush in water is that you get these little bits of water into your paint. And what happens with the water-soluble paint when you do that is that it becomes sort of tacky on your palette. It doesn't dry, but because there are water particles in there, the whole blob of paint becomes tacky, just unworkable, right? So even if you mix in a teeny tiny bit of water, thinking, you know, as a medium, as you would like linseed oil, that will ruin your paint in under 10 minutes. So don't do that. Don't do what I did also, is rinse your brush in water, right? So the advantage then would be that you can wash your brushes with water and soap afterwards. And let's not underestimate that that advantage. Because if you're busy and you know, if you have a busy life, do I have any medium? Hold on, I'll be right back. I am back. So I don't have water-soluble medium. Yeah, so I'm gonna put some gel medium on here. This paper is very absorbent. Every time I use it, I forget that I need to put on a layer of gesso. I'm so organized, am I not? All right, dude. Let's see. Yes, we're going to meet up. It's gonna be cool. My mom is gonna bring some coffee. And yeah, it's gonna be cool. All right. So an advantage that maybe should not be underestimated, right? I don't want to underestimate the ease of cleanup. Some people can be a little bit like meh about that, but not everybody paints all day. Like, I wish I painted all day. I'm supposed to paint all day. I have the ability to paint all day. But I did not always have the ability to paint all day, right? When my kid was younger and I had a different job and stuff like that. So sometimes you just want to clean up easy. I keep mentioning it every time, but I do have the video on how to wash your brushes with regular oil paint and just water and soap. Yeah, I do it, not every night. I try to do it often enough. It takes a bit more work, it really does. Like, it's not as simple as just washing stuff up. But it is definitely possible, because regular oils, like, oil is just oil. It's not a special kind of oil. So washing your regular oil brushes is the same as washing a greasy pan, right? It takes a lot of soap, it takes hot water, it takes a lot of scrubbing and a lot of friction, and you need to repeat it, right? So the first layer comes off, then the second layer comes off, and if your pan is really dirty, then maybe you need a third time. So that. It helps me to know I don't have to go out and buy new products. Yeah, keep the water far away from water-soluble paint. That tripped me up. Like, I was also one of those people who was like, cool, I can put water in there. I love easy clean. Yes. Watercolor is such Such a nice, cleanup free. All that scrubbing hurts. Yeah. It does. It does. But I think it's good, you know, that we have different products. Just, you know, different products, even though maybe the differences aren't that, like, major, it also kind of entices people to try stuff out. Like, I really feel like if new products come out, it's good for, like, the general popularity of something. And that also, you know, that can also be important, right? I remember when the jelly plate became very popular again. Everyone was like, why should I pay like $30 for a piece of Jello? I can make it myself. And people have been making that stuff. But, you know, some company did a good marketing campaign behind it and made it very popular. And then people started making nice YouTube videos and everything was like, I liked it. It was cool. I got a jelly plate. I used it once, I think, but whatever. It was fun. You have a jelly plate too? Yeah. Like, so there's something, hold on. There's something about the process of jelly plating where you have to work in a certain order, and then, like, when you take off the paper, the order is reversed, and my brain is like, what? So I can follow instructions, which is also fun, step by step, right? Do this layer, do that, do such and such. And then, but every time I try to sort of do something on my own, it just got like totally messed up. Oh, cool, you all have a jelly plate. Maybe you should jelly plate at some point. Mono printing with other things, yeah, that's also really cool. Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna like try some stuff with printing, maybe in the winter or something. I don't know why, but I associate printing with the winter, like as if it's a winter activity or something. Same, yeah. It's quite like technical, I suppose. When you think about it. Like the whole process of printing, and especially in layers, is that, you know, you can't take it off, right? You can't erase it, or you can't, it's gonna be a little difficult. Where are we gonna put this? Maybe like here. We're all on the same road. All right, cool. That's cool. So, is any one of you doing Dylan's course? If you are, I want to know. There's a lot going on in October with stuff and classes and everything, right? So one thing though, one thing, I mentioned it I think 2 weeks ago also, I'm going to mention it again. I looked it up and I think it's confirmed. So you can add up to 10 to 15%. I don't know what 10 to 15%, like look at this. What is 10%? I don't know. But it basically means you can add a tiny bit of regular oil stuff to your water-soluble oils and it'll still be water-soluble, as in you will still be able to wash that out pretty well. So if you have a bunch of water-soluble oils but you don't have a water-soluble medium, you're not really supposed to use more than 10% medium, which is a rule I break every time, but whatever. So if you have some regular medium, you can add a touch of that to your water-soluble oil, right? Let's see. Mixed media approach is great. Yeah, just fix what you don't like. Yes, that is my motto. No, Kelly. No, well, I can imagine like the raccoons. You need a vacation after the raccoons. There are too many yes, there are. I tried the pouring. I resisted that with all my power. I was like, no, stop that. You do not need 24 plastic cups. And you know what it is? I saw a video, I looked it up. I was like, that sounds really cool, pouring, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody had a mask on and they had all these open cups. Open cups and me are like disaster trap, right? I need to put my drink cup far like it's on the other end of the table there, because otherwise I manage to tip it over. So yeah, so much stirring. Yeah, cool. Will Gamsel work? Yeah, Gamsel will work. Tiny bit of Gamsel will work. You gotta know your limits, right? On stuff. And some things you just have to leave alone. Where the plastic ends up with pouring, well, I'm guessing not in a recycle bin. Can we even recycle stuff like that? Is that even possible? Did my camera just flip out? No, Linda, don't buy anymore, please. Just use the camera. Uh-huh. Yeah, it is doing it. I saw that when I was looking at my laptop. So, um, okay, cool. I know why it's doing that, but it's not really something I can fix right now. I tried to make an oil portrait this week and I'm starting to get used to oils. That is so cool. That is cool. Because I think you usually like do acrylics, right? That's not bad. Oh, thank you. You know, the funny thing is I started out with oils because that's all I knew. Because my grandmother had a bunch of oils, and then my mom had a bunch of oils. And then when I did my first course with Yuna, I got acrylics because she works with acrylics. And it freaked me out because I was used to putting paint out, getting something to drink, going to the bathroom, coming back, getting distracted, doing the dishes, doing something else, coming back, doing, you know. So I did that. I came back. My paint was dry. It was dry. I was tapping it literally like, hello, what happened? I had no idea. I seriously had no idea. Wow. Yeah, that was a trip. All right, my dude. Acrylics and watercolor, cool, yeah. It's fun to be able to move the paint. Yeah, I have to learn to use my brush gently. Yeah, it's definitely a different, um, yeah, brush experience. Okay, maybe we can get. You can't just smear an extra layer on, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. That is, yeah. And the funny thing is that when I go back to acrylics, I tend to be very careful. Like, oh no, I gotta be careful that I don't like make a mudslide, right? You got that oil paint. Um, motion in your hands. Yes, an oil paint state of mind. I don't know why I'm painting so tiny. Should I zoom in a little bit? That's still tiny, but it's fun watching you do this without a sketch. Yeah. You can get away with it. It's good to practice. Like, I don't mind drawing with paint. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of fun sometimes. I need a sketch for the measurements. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with a sketch. Like, when I work on stuff that needs the work, you know what I mean? I do a sketch. Or I do a sketch on, like for portraits, I sometimes do a sketch on a separate piece of paper and then I transfer it to my palette. Hold on. Oh, all right, everything's good. Just to make sure that the proportions are good. It's like, it's second nature to you. For some of it's amazing. I practiced trying to paint that way once in a while. Yeah, right? Yeah. You know, it's just good to get excited about this stuff because, yeah, it can be fun. But yeah, I am very well aware that it takes a lot of practice. Make more hours. Yeah, it's practice. It's really not any easier or more difficult than that. Yeah, on the tracing paper is also why am I none of my neurons are like firing saying, why are you using tiny brush? Why? Stop using tiny brush. Oh, guess what? I bought Chroma Magic. Yeah. I automatically bought it on my phone and then realized that maybe it would have been more convenient if I bought it in the Apple store because my phone is Android and my like computers are all Apple. But I don't mind buying another Apple version because it's cool. I haven't exactly done anything with it because I'm like not in that headspace yet, but it looks really cool. Why have I not done this before? You know, I used to think, or maybe that's still true, but I'm just lazy, I don't know. I used to think that you have to learn all these color things by, you know, going. I had a book at some point, and I would just try to match things in real life with these little color squares that you have, and then I don't know, it's just it's no fun. This is a really fun app. So it's called Chroma Magic. I will put it in the chat. And I think she just released version 3, at least a new version. She just released it. It looks all stable to me, so it's all good. I have it written down in my notes. Yeah, Chroma Magic. So I think we talked about it a couple of live streams ago. I've seen it used by Paul Foxton, who is a guy who also does live streams where he paints like still lives and other things and flowers and stuff. Really good stuff. And you can load an image, and then you can click on that image, and it'll give you very useful information on the value and on the hue. So especially like colors in areas where your mind is being tripped, right? Sometimes in the shadow side of the face, or just, you know, in general, your brain tends to tell you things that are not true. So you can click on the things and get the truth, or at least some proximity. Oh, stop that. You know, I think this is a sign from whoever that I need a new camera. You know why it's doing that? It's because it has a tiny HDMI connector, right? Like a tiny one. And my other camera, the one I'm staring at, that is usually on the other side, has a big HDMI connector. And I don't want to say he's jealous or anything. They're looking at each other like my connector is bigger than yours. But no, the reason why it's freaking out is because the connector is just unstable. So it's being difficult. That is why. HDMIs. Let's see. Cameras. Cameras. Cameras are so weird. Like, I love cameras. My mom was a photographer, her father, etc. So I was like raised with cameras. But the camera world is still like such a dude world. You know, so when you go to the camera store or whatever, there are all these dudes and dudes behind the checkout, dudes want to inform you of things. It's weird. It's so weird. And then, like, when you go online, which is what I prefer because I don't like people, it's still only dudes. All the reviews are by dudes. All the blogs are by dudes. Everything is by dudes. And at some point, I needed a new lens. You can probably see it. That big ass lens over there. So they usually put like the weight in the specifications. So I don't know what it was. Maybe like 800 grams or whatever. And my brain was like, I guess, you know, if it's not 2 kilos or 1 kilo, I don't really register it. It's like negligible. I can tell you one thing, 800 grams is not negligible when you have to hold it up for a whole night taking photos. My girl hands cannot handle that lens. It is so heavy. But in the reviews, the duder reviews, it's all like, oh no, this lens is so nice and stable, finally some real body in my hands, yada yada yada. I was exhausted. After half an hour, I could not feel my own hands anymore. So I'm just ranting about dudes while painting this dude. That's a good looking dude though. I had to answer a call regarding getting my mats on track. That is important. Missed the chroma convo. wasn't that much of a convo. I just like the I like the app. It's a very cool app, and I wish I had purchased it sooner. And not like be so difficult. Although, why am I always so difficult to myself then about using stuff to help you? Somehow my mind is always, no, that's cheating. And then when I see somebody else use it, like somebody I admire or somebody that I regard as, not a cheater, then it's kind of validated for me that I can also use that. I will get there one day. I ask myself that same question all the time. Kelly, where are you? I can say, yeah. Why? You know what I think sometimes? I feel like if I went to art school and people would just be like, oh, do this, do that, use such and such, and blah, 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 then you kind of see that everyone is doing it and it's fine. But when I'm on my own, my brain tends to make me believe that you get this kind of, I feel like it's almost sort of an imposter syndrome, right? Like I feel like I have to do everything without shortcuts, because at the end of the day, I feel like I kind of am not supposed to be an artist or anything weird like that. Anyways, but the thing is, once you realize that that is what's happening, you can tackle that. So every time I go like, oh, no, I have to do this, I can't use that, I do. I just hard tackle myself and then do whatever I'm not supposed to. That's the only solution. That's my therapeutic advice. You're welcome. I love using apps. A friend asked me once, not an artist, so that's how you pick your colors. Like with this day. Yeah. Okay, all right. So your friend is like my inner voice. I'm like, whatever. Cool. Yeah. That is like, Linda, I need your voice in my head. I need Linda every time. It's like, no, you can't use this. I need a Linda in my head. That's like, whatever. Go away. All right, beard. It's beard time. How much time? Oh, Lord. It's fine. I told myself today, you don't have to paint a whole portrait in 1 hour. Nobody does that. Some people do that. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and add some gel medium to get some transparency here. Did I just say cheat? I think I did. We all need we all need an inner Linda. Okay, it's just gonna get like a block ear. There we go. Like a blocky ear. Alrighty. That is definitely good enough for 1 hour. Right, so I kind of feel like I redeemed myself here. Should we just quietly delete the previous live stream? Just kidding. We're leaving everything online. Okie dokie. Alright, so water-soluble oils. They behave like oils. That's it. Yeah. If you like them, buy them. If you want to use regular oils or you want to choose between 28 million different brands, or you want to use that specific color that one person on Instagram is using, then use regular oils. And I don't think it matters one bit. You gotta clean them up, and that's it. All right, they're solvent free. Regular oils are solvent free. Everything can be solvent free. If you don't use solvent, right? So there's no solvent in oils, in any oil paint. Dude with a beard. Hey, the dude with the beard is back in the chat. Maybe we should paint Dylan next time. All right. That's it. Thank you for joining me. next week, hold on. Let me get my yes. So next week we're on, yeah, we're good for October. So I'm gonna be doing more naked people drawing in November, and I'm also gonna be probably gonna be giving a workshop. So we'll have to see how many live streams we can do, or maybe we can do a different day, if you guys would like that. So, yes, all right, Dylan. You are the internet's new muse. Thank you very much for joining me in my water-soluble oil practice. I'm probably gonna give these to my son's friend, who, this is really cute. Oh, we have 4 minutes still. So my son's classmate was like, oh, I would love to try oil paint. Maybe I can get some water-soluble oil. And I was like, wait, did you say water-soluble oil? So maybe I can give these to him so he can try it. I love my kid. He's very creative, but he's not into the whole painting business. So every time one of his friends goes like, paint or painting, I'm like, call me. I'm your favorite mom. So the water-soluble oils may go to some kid, but I had fun with them. I will see you next week. If you have a topic or an idea for something to do, let me know either in the comments, the chat, or social media. And have a great day or night, Ariana. I will see you Friday. Yay. And I will keep you updated on how my exhibition will go. All right. Thank you so much. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye. Bye.